Hello and welcome to a new video. This one is for the Facebook group Diecast and Models Community, who are doing a charity event this month called Paint It Blue for the Alzheimer's Society to try and raise some much needed funds. I will leave a link in the description, and if you feel inclined to donate at the end of the video, please do so. It's a very worthy cause. Well, the subject for this one is this severely overpainted, a couple of wheels missing, Corgi Mustang 2+2. Obviously this one's had some renovation before at some point in the past and been screwed together. Curiously enough, as we get this apart, there is a machine screw in the back and a wood screw in the front, which is unusual to say the least. But it's all in all not a bad little model. It's suffering from a little bit of aluminium rot. But let's get it apart and see what we can do with it. That screw's loose and just turning round, and I subsequently discovered that it had got a little bit of filler into a hole and it had been screwed straight into the wood filler. This one does have a proper machine thread. Don't exactly know the dimensions of the screw. I would suggest about a 4mm countersunk thing. Later on in the video I will be reusing those. So it was kind of cute and belonged with the vehicle anyway. So it's off with the base plate, out with the suspension unit. Unfortunately the back suspension's been broken, but I will be replacing that with a couple of bits of plastic card afterwards. It's quite effective. Fetching out the interior now, which again has been overpainted with red enamel. So we'll give that a clean up, and I'm not going to be going too far with it, but we'll try and renovate it in some way. Take the little dog off the parcel shelf. As I say, it looks as though it's been apart for some time. Quite a bit of dust collected inside there. Interesting little springing mechanism for the front doors. Rather better in my view. It comes out nice and cleanly, makes it for a nice easy strip down, rather than struggling with the spring-loaded ones that you sometimes get. Curiously enough, the windows are half open on this one as well, which I've not had a model like that before. It's also got dual headlights in it, which seem to be very well secured in. So I'm not going to attempt to get them out and break them. I don't have any suitable replacements, so I'm going to try and protect them as much as I can with a little bit of masking after I've dipped it in the caustic. I'm just prying off the door cards now. They have been off before. You can see the original kind of green that the Mustang was. And just using a pin vise with a largish drill bit in, and just bringing down the level of the aluminium that's been kind of riveted and holding the glass in place. I'm trying to be steady and patient with it. I don't want to try and rush at it and end up cracking the glass. That would be a pity. Having to get a replacement might be a bit of a chore. So it's just a patient few twists. I didn't use a power tool on it. It's, as I say, a pin vise, and I'm just twisting it with my fingers, bringing it down slowly. Most of these things will come apart if you take your time, don't charge at it. I'm just taking hopefully taking the top off the riveted part there. Few twists more. The windows that are meant to be mimic being half open, they're in pretty good nick. So I'll probably just dip in a bit of Mr. Muscle, tidy them up, and dip in the polish afterwards. So as you can see, gently prying them up with the scalpel. That one's still gripping it a bit, so another couple of twists with the drill. Apologies for this extreme close-up of me liver spotted hands there, but I just thought it was worth seeing the process. And one final twist, and I think it's going to be off this time. Oh, there she goes, and now cracking the glass. Quite pleased about that. So I've stripped them off in the caustic and put a grey primer on, and now I'm base coating this white before looking into applying the blue coat later. All will be revealed shortly. A nice white base coat on the floor pan. So I'm masking a nice little racing stripe up here. I've put 5 lines of tape in a parallel, the vinyl tape, and I'm just splitting them now and tucking them underneath to secure them in order to hold them in place while I'm spraying. I tend to use this vinyl tape on small stuff like this. If you push it down firmly, as you can see I'm doing there, you get very little paint creep. Most of the time you'll get a nice crisp line. So the next thing I'll be doing after I've tapped this down is weeding out the centre line. In order to establish 2 parallel racing stripes just off centre on the bonnet. I didn't want them exactly in the middle. I don't like that particular look. I like them to be slightly off towards the driver's side. Seems more authentic to me to the models that I've seen like it. There we go, just gently weeding out that centre line there and revealing the division between the 2 stripes. Now one last bit and we'll be off and painting. Last firm press down, make sure it doesn't get blown off by the airbrush when I apply the blue paint. Can't be too careful at this stage. Just a coating of nice metallic blue here now. It's Vallejo, I think it's called ice blue metallic. That's pretty effective. I've used it before on other things and I'm usually happy with it. Just making sure the doors get a good coating. Last couple of passes on the body. And I'm just blowing on here a coat of Intercoat Clear just so that I can handle the car to take the stripes off without doing any damage to the paintwork. And here we go with the reveal. So far so good. Probably would have been better if I'd have started tearing that off from underneath, but on the screen first and work forward, but we all make mistakes. And this was one of mine. But fortunately I got away with it. I'm taking it off the stand to make my life a little bit easier. But I didn't want to really overhandle it and risk putting a fingerprint in the paint. I think if you've done any amount of these kind of jobs, we've all done that one from time to time, like the unwanted thumbprint on something. Sometimes you get away with it, sometimes you got to start all over again. But on this occasion, I was fortunate and got away with it. Considering at this point in time this paint is less than 10 minutes old, it's a good testimony to how quick the auto air intercoat clear dries off. With just a bit of help from a hairdryer. As I say, it's literally less than 10 minutes after I've painted it. Here I am peeling the stripes off. Fairly confident that I'm not going to get myself into any trouble. And there we go, two nice racing stripes. So, I've done quite a bit of the detailing, but there is some more to do. But it's assembly time now. Glued the door cards back on. I'm just having 2 or 3 times to decide that I'm putting the right door in the right place. I do think this is a better arrangement than a lot of the opening door arrangements I've come across on different models. Despite the fact that I can see I'm fumbling with it now, it is a pretty easy arrangement. Gluing the door card on that one before I pop it into place. As you can see, I've done a little bit of painted the interior black, done a little bit of dry brushing on just to bring the detailing up a bit, nothing too elaborate for this particular model. You see on the right hand side there's a little bit of white on the suspension where I've replaced the missing pieces, and it works pretty effectively. Just a bit of plastic card. I know some people sometimes use credit cards as well, but I'd got the plastic card, and it's a little bit thicker than what was originally on, but it served the purpose. There's a little plastic spring arrangement for holding the doors in place. And then the dashboard and the steering wheel. Probably should have used the tweezers here because my fingers are a bit lacking in dexterity with these small parts. Just pop the interior in. At this point I haven't realised, but I've got the little dog facing what I thought was kind of logically outwards, because any dog I've ever had make its way onto the parcel shelf tends to look backwards out of the window. And when I was putting the car together, I just couldn't get it to sit right. I thought, it's too tight, it's too tight, it's too tight, and what it turns out to be is that our little dog should be facing inwards towards the car, and his snout was pressing on the back window and stopping the two halves from coming together. So off camera I had to get him out, turn him round and pop him back in again. And then the two halves went together nicely. Just clicked in the two tipping seats before I dropped the interior in. A locating pin for it at the back there, and it just slots in front of the steering wheel. So in with the suspension section. Fortunately, this was in really nice condition for a chrome part. They've usually lost quite a bit of their colour at the age of this car, but I was lucky with this one. Probably, as I say, apart from the broken suspension units, the chrome was in pretty nice nick. When I did these wheels, I liberated from a model that I didn't particularly care to bother with. They're a nice kind of wire wheel effect. I haven't seen anybody use one on the Mustang before, or use a pair on the Mustang before, so I thought it would give it a little bit of extra pop. Just drop them into the slots and push the base plate in. Again, another thing I don't normally do. I normally paint the base plates grey, but I thought I'd have the whole thing match on this one since it is a painted blue event. In with the machine screw at the back, and the wood screw at the front I do use, and I'm just super gluing it into place. It'll hold it well together sufficiently well. At some point I'll retap it and put a new machine screw in, but I was on a bit of a time crunch with this one because I'm doing quite a lot of running about lately, and I wanted to get the video finished in time for the event. So in with a blob of super glue. And then in with my black Japan wood screw. Bit of a fiddle, but it's in. Put a bit of pressure on, push it into place, and then, as a wise man once said, hit it with the zip kicker and hold it still till it's gone off. There we go, it's all together. I've got a little bit more detailing to do on it off camera, a bit of chrome, and reapply the sticker that forms the grille. And here we are with the finished car. I think it looks pretty nice. Very happy with the wire wheels, they came up really well. They came off James Bond Toyota that I'd got lying in a box with more parts missing than made it worthy of doing. Nicely detailed model. I think the chrome sets it off quite well against the blue. As I say, this is a charity event, and I'll reiterate that I will leave a link in the description for donations if you feel that way inclined, but obviously absolutely no pressure from me. Well, if you've made it through to this point, thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Do please consider giving it a thumbs up, or possibly even subscribing. Comments are always appreciated. I've been Hellboy59. You have been very patient. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.